Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. We saw some pretty prominent SMGs receive some nerfs with the Season 3 updates. Things like the Owen gun got changed, the MP40 got changed, and the SMG meta, because of that, is now a whole lot more competitive. Today, we are going over the general SMG meta and also pointing out which are the top options and breaking down the best loadouts for those in specific. As we go through it all, if you enjoyed the video at any point, let me know by dropping a like on it. And if you're new to the channel or if you have not already subscribed, every day I got you covered with everything going on in COD. Whether it is news, updates, loadouts, or tips, you'll find it all right here. So feel free to subscribe with those notifications turned on. So we are here on our general overview for the SMGs in Warzone right now. Obviously, we got plenty of options, and this list needs some updating. So currently, the top meta, all these guns stay, in my opinion. The Lapa is a beast, the best non-Vanguard sub in the game. Owen gun, still frying. Even with the nerfs, it's a top option as well. Type 100 is great for sniper support as a sub, just super powerful. PPSH is hipfire or ADS is a ton of fun. And obviously the well gun is a beast as well. Now, because well gun. Now, obviously the MP40 is a top meta option. The short barrel build is so fast, so agile, and has a pretty solid TTK. The sten, also a top meta option, same deal, great agility, great mobility, really good TTK with the right build on it, even though it's more so meant for like solos and duos. Outside of that, we do have some other options that are going to shift up. For the most part, I feel like niche with the nail gun is accurate, below average is accurate, viable is accurate minus the PP Bison, which absolutely is competitive, but no better than that. Yes, it got the slight buff to have some decent extremity damage, but that does not make it as good as any of these subs up here. It's still a solid option, but nowhere close to being the best. The OTS, which of course we just talked about earlier on this week, absolutely moves up into the top meta area. That TTK almost mimics the MP40 with very similar mobility, mag size, everything there. So of course, it's got to be in the conversation. Also, the MW AUG, which we've talked about numerous times as well, even though we're using a rifle conversion ammo kit for it, it still is an SMG by nature. So it also is a top meta weapon and easily one of the most fun to use just because it's so much more unique than all these other guns in a lot of ways. It's a bit slower, but man, does it get the job done. Besides that, though, I feel like this meta is pretty accurate. I mean, the Milano is great for sniper support and even as a ranged SMG, but I'm not going to choose it over a lot of these options. Mac 10, phenomenal mobility, but it just doesn't have the best TTK. Cold War MP5's all right, but it's not the best SMG anymore. The recoil is a bit obnoxious. Bullfrog is solid with the damage per mag, but nothing I'm gonna choose over an MP40 or a well gun. MP7 solid sniper support. MW MP5 decent, just doesn't really max out to what it was before back on Verdansk. Cold War PPSH is cool, but the Vanguard PPSH exists. Tech 9's all right for sniper support. CX9 is as well. And then obviously the Bison, as we talked about. So very accurate meta list in my opinion. But with all these in the top meta, let's go through and let's break down the setups for each of them. So starting first with the Lapa, this one is super easy. Of course, we're going for agency suppressor. Rifled barrel is going to give us the best TTK there. I like having Tiger Team Spotlight on here for the better movement over the Bruiser grip. If we didn't have such a trash iron sight, I'd be using both of them, but unfortunately the iron sight sucks. So we got to go ahead and run a microflex LED for our red dots. Then either a 40 or a 50 round mag, both of those work just fine. Pretty standard Lapa setup. We've talked about this one many times on the channel already, but it is still one of the top choices here in Season 3. Now, the Owen gun, like I said, despite the nerfs, is still a beast. In the setup, you can get away with using the exact same one as before. It's just not going to be as lethal. It's a small difference. It's just not going to be as good as before, right? But still one of the best choices you could use in the game. Rapid barrel recoil booster. I'm honestly really liking the Model 47 optic as of late. Even though the mag is a bit obtrusive, I can like see past that. Not literally, but you know what I'm saying. So I've actually been using that a lot as of lately, and I've really been enjoying it. Remove stock as well for better mobility. Hand stop to help out with some control. Gorenko 72, even with the nerf, still has a phenomenal TTK. We've talked about it in previous TTK videos. LinkedIn for the better velocity, of course. Polymer or fabric. Fabric for the better ADS. Polymer for the better control. Whichever you value more, go with that one. Perk 1, acrobatic. Perk 2, quick. As always, no real changes with this one, despite the fact that it's not going to be as good as it was before, but it's still arguably a top 2 SMG in the entire game, I would say. Now, the Type 100, I like to build out for sniper support mainly. I'm still going for the recoil booster for the better fire rate and slightly better TTK, but for the barrel, I'm actually going for the 374mm because it's better control, better velocity, just makes it more consistent in medium range fights. but it also doesn't slow you down enough to make it bad for close range, which is what I really enjoy. Going for the slate reflector here, just your basic red dot. Skeletal stock, better sprint to fire, better movement, gains back some mobility from using that barrel, obviously. I do go for the hand stop in this case. That's the last main recoil based attachment I'm running here. For the magazine, the Kurz 48 got a decent nerf with the update, but I do believe they're still the best choice here, especially for the magazine capacity. That's a huge factor in this. For the ammo, lengthened or subsonic is great. For the rear grip, polymer or fabric, I like fabric for the better ADS in this case. Perk 1, Gung Ho is great if you don't care about sprint to fire, because this gets rid of all of it and makes it very aggressive. Acrobatic is also phenomenal, and for me, that movement speed as a sniper support build is a little bit more important. And then perk 2, obviously quick yet again, same deal with that movement speed increase. You love to see that. For the PPSH, I'm going full on hip fire, recoil booster, the 230mm barrel, obviously all based around hip fire. It's such a fun build, man. The optic, even if we're not ADSing, is still going to help us out with the control, so I'm going for the 2.5 times for that. Remove stock for the obvious hip fire benefits there. The steady underbarrel, only hip fire benefits. Nambu rounds for the hip fire build, Gorenko for the ADS, be sure to keep that in mind. Ammunition here, I actually like frangible on the hip fire build just because it's going to slow enemies down, makes it easier to hit them as you're chasing them. Rear grip, going for pine tar, better hip fire accuracy. Perk 1, tight grip, and then perk 2, fully loaded in this case, because when you hip fire, you miss more bullets. You want to maximize your ammo there. Moving on, the well gun, probably my favorite SMG in the game, just because it's so reliable up close, it's competitive. Over range, it's pretty much the best SMG option out of the main, like, top 4, that being the MP40, the Owen gun, the well gun, and I would say probably the Sten, maybe the Lapa there. Close competition. Either way, recoil booster, shrouded barrel, going for the slate reflector yet again. I'm sure you know where I'm going with this setup. We've talked about it so many times. Remove stock, better mobility. Hand stop, better control. Gorenko 40 is still frying, even at range, which I love to see. Lengthen for the better velocity. Polymer or fabric, as always. Perk 1, acrobatic. Perk 2, quick. Of course, very much so resembling the other SMG builds thus far. The MP40, an SMG I've been using a ton more recently because this super fast build, it's just so much fun to be able to fly like you can, but also fry like you can with this thing. Recoil booster, short barrel. Yes, it got the nerf of season 3. No, that did not kill it. It's still a top choice without a doubt in my mind. Slate reflector here for the better optic, folding stock for the better mobility. I actually go for the skeletal underbarrel here for the better ADS. I really enjoy having that, just makes it even faster and even more aggressive. Gorenko 45, lengthen to help out in some of those mid-range fights. Fabric for the better ADS. Perk 1, I like to go for steady. They all are not ideal, as I've said many times. Perk 2, quick to maximize that sprint speed. You cannot go wrong with this one. And then the final Vanguard sub, the Sten. Super underrated, but like I said, it's primarily meant for solos or maybe duos with the build that we're using here. Can't deny the fact that it has a TTK that's almost as good as the well guns and the Owen guns and whatnot. So first up here, recoil booster yet again. Rapid barrel for the better fire rate, helping out that TTK. Going for the slate reflector once more. The para stock here, basically like the folding stock, same pros as we would see over there. Going for the hand stop just to help out with the control a little bit. Magazine is going to be the 32 fast mag. This is what's going to help out the TTK a ton, but obviously it's only 32 rounds, which kind of sucks for trios, quads. You got to be a lot smarter if you're trying to use it there. For the ammo here, going for lengthened, going for polymer or fabric. Again, just rinse and repeat everything here. Acrobatic, and of course, quick to round things out there, to round out the Vanguard subs for this video. Then for the OTS, we just talked about this one earlier this week, showed some gameplay with it. I love how this thing feels. It's so fast, and it has the TTK to back up and compete against other top Vanguard subs, which is not something you get much of. Obviously, just this and the Lapa are the only ones that are non-Vanguard subs on the list. Basic setup though, Grew Suppressor, Task Force, Bruiser Grip, the Tiger Team Spotlight, and then also the 40 round fast mag in this case. Same OTS setup that we ran back on Verdansk, same setup is going to dominate here. Also, the AUG, of course, to close things out today. I know I just said the OTS and Lapa were the only non-Vanguard subs. The AUG, because it feels like a rifle, it's like in that gray area, right? But here, first up, we are going for the monolithic suppressor. No barrel, you don't need it. It's really not going to help you out in many cases, in my opinion, just because they're not built for close range. They're not built for SMG fights. They're all range builds. I do, however, run the tac laser for that better ADS. Either the 30 or the 60 round NATO mags are going to give you that spicy TTK. 60 is just a whole lot slower, but can help you out a ton in quad fights, trio fights, so just keep that in mind. Also going for the Icon, the Stippy Grippy. Then lastly, I'm going for the Comb Stock because this is going to help out that ADS and make it a bit more aggressive. Super fun, and like I said earlier, very, very unique SMG setup, which is what I love the most about the AUG. But all that being said, that is the SMG meta in Season 3 of Warzone right now. That's going to wrap things up for today. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know by dropping a like on it. And if you're new here or if you have not already subscribed, every day I got you covered with all things going on in COD. So feel free to hit that sub button and turn on those post notifications. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy. Have an awesome rest of your day. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.